Hello, and welcome to Becky's House of Sewing, where we talk about all things thread and needle. Don't worry, it's non-alcoholic. Black cherry seltzer. So, it's June 8th, 2022. It is Wednesday, back to my normal routine. And we did not go to my mother-in-law's house, so I'm recording a little earlier, which is why my sewing room faces west. Yes, west. The sun sets in the west, and so the sun is shining in a little bit more. So I have a little extra light from Mother Nature helping me. But I have things to discuss, people, and I'm glad that you're here. If it's your first time, welcome. If it's your 31st time, we appreciate you coming back. Happy to have you. Glad to talk stitching. Glad to be stitching friends with people. Being stitchy friends is just so much fun. Instant friendship happens, and it's really cool. Which leads me into my first story. So, Saturday at work at the Container Store in Charlotte, South Park Mall, look it up. I was on the sales floor and my manager calls me, Becky, please come to the front. I need to talk to you in the front, at the registers. So I make my way up there, and there he's talking to this lady sitting down, doing some stitching, and he says, Becky, look at what this lady's doing. She's doing embroidery. And she's like, actually, sir, it's cross stitch. I'm like, oh, I know what cross stitch is. Hold the presses. I know what it is. What are you working on? And she's working on something from a Ukrainian designer did. It's in blue and yellow for Ukrainian, and it's a biscornu. And I had just watched Floss Toss, and so I'm like, oh, are you biscornuing? Because they made it a verb. I don't know if that's how they say it, but that's what they did. And we just went down a rabbit hole of Flosstube, and I do Flosstube, and da-da-da-da-da. Well, I'm part of a sewing group. I'm like, hold up. Are you part of Nicole Needleworks sewing group? Because Nicole Needleworks, you should look her up. She's in a lot of different things. She's now doing a lot of different types of needlework, which I approve of, Nicole. If you're watching this, which I'll try not to get freaked out that you're watching it, but if you are watching it, more power to you. I know a lot of people only love your cross stitching, but I love you for all the things. Nicole, I've been watching for a long time. I guess for a couple of years now. I really haven't been into YouTubing for very long. But since I've gotten into floss tubes, I've been watching her. And she, I kind of figured out, lives in my area somewhere. I still don't know exactly where, and it's fine. We're friends now. I probably will learn. But we keep shopping at the same shops. She keeps talking about the same cross-stitch stores. Her mother lives in Florida, which is where I'm from. It kind of made me think that she was from that same area. And we're from the same area of Florida. I'm like, I'm going to meet this woman at some point. And so when I met Kathy, my new sewing friend, at the Container Store, and she invited me to the sewing group, I was like, I couldn't possibly. Yes, I'll be right there. So, I got a little giddy and a little excited, as one would, and immediately came home. Oh, excuse me, I'm trying to reach for something, not ever so gracefully. Well, I need a new start and a new sewing bag. So, I found my favorite material that I had leftovers of. I love it. I love rifle paper. And I found a zipper I wanted to use, and I made myself a little bag. Look. Oh, wrong side. Look. Made it. So I made myself a vinyl sewing bag because you have to come well equipped. I mean, these women need to know I have game. And I also made, I've been wanting one, and they looked pretty easy to make, but I wanted to make a little thread catcher. A lot of people have these, and a lot of people make them into like little books and stuff, and they unsnap. I just made a flat thing. So this holds your threads so they kind of stay. Your used threads so they kind of stay in place. You can pop a needle in there, that kind of thing. But I made it to match. Isn't that adorable? I'm also really getting good at these corners. Oh, I made so comfy, right? I mean, it's padding. You needed to do that. But I'm very pleased with my mitered corners. Thank you, Elizabeth Ink and Stitch, for showing me this trick. I did that on the sewing bag too. So I got to thinking, well, wouldn't these be cute and easy just to whip right up, and then I could have some stitchy kindness to give to people, right? Because stitchers deserve stitchy kindness. So that gave me the willpower to, because I had replaced my cutting table top because it was not wide enough to accommodate my cutting board. So Ron, here you go, Ron. Which Ron reported in my last Flosstube 30 by way of celebration, that I mentioned his name 20 times. I was a little Ron happy. Now, those of you who are new, because I do have new stitching friends, which I probably should finish that story, but to my new stitching friends who are now watching me, Ron is my neighbor. Ron and Connie are favorite neighbors right on the corner. Now, our neighborhood is really sweet. We've got some really good neighbors. We all kind of watch out for each other's dogs and et cetera, et cetera. But Ron and Connie are special. And, so we've started a drinking game. He's been fascinated with the Flosstube thing and my crafting journey. So he's been a great encouragement and support, and I have to explain things to him. And I also listen to a podcast, which is called Smartless, which has some famous people in it. And Will Arnett, Jason Bateman, and Sean Hayes. Sean Hayes has a cousin named Tracy, who he breaks things down for in what makes Jason and Will a little crazy, and they mock him profusely for it. So now it's a thing where they all will say, please explain this to Tracy. And so Ron is my Tracy. So every time we say Ron, we have to have a little swig of something. Now they have adult beverages. Do not feel you need adult beverages. If you like adult beverages, please enjoy. But you do not need to enjoy my hair. I just got it cut. I'm liking it. I hope you do too. Okay, back to my sewing group. Sorry, I'm rambling. Can you tell I don't take notes? Okay, so I got my stuff together for sewing group, and I headed over to the place that she told me. They happened to meet at a Starbucks in this particular neighborhood of Charlotte, and I was like, great, I'll be there. Just a first name, no phone number, no contact information, no double checking of addresses. So it's an area I'm not as familiar with. I know where Waxhaw is, I know where South Park Mall is, and I know very little in between. And yes, I have lived here for 11 years, but that doesn't mean anything. Okay. So, I go to the first Starbucks. It's closed. It's a freestanding Starbucks. It's closed. So surely this is not the place. So I look up, I'm like, how many Starbucks could there be? Sure, there's might be one on every corner. I mean, it's less than New York City, right? So I look up on there, and so I go to the next plausible place near where I'm at. Nobody's in the lobby, strictly drive-through. So I take a moment. I'm like, do I want to keep doing this? Or do I want to go home? And I said, Becky, the third time's the charm. If they're not there, then you need to go home. But let's give it a college try. Third time's the charm. And I found him. So I walked in. I instantly knew that I was in the right place. Because they were at a long table, about 4 or 5 of them. They all had their portable lamps out. They all had their glasses on. So not knowing what they were actually working on, I knew I was in the right place. So I ordered my drink. I touched Kathy on the shoulder. I said, hey, I made it. And they're like, welcome. And they're introducing myself. I'm like, Nicole, I already know who you are. I'm Becky. Nice to meet you. We ended up getting to sit across from each other. It was great fun. I, along with my bag, decided that I should start something new because I was new in a new group. And I had kitted up, you know how I love Hello from Liz Matthews, the Dutch sampler. I went gaga for this, and I get all these charts in one thing. The Dutch sampler reproduction. I fell in love with this when it came out, I guess 2 years ago. But I don't love that fabric, and there's a lot of what we call ghost stitching in the biz. Ron, ghost stitching. That's like the light where the thread matches the fabric and you can't see it. And so I was kind of disappointed with the fabric that was chosen here. So I went with something darker, which I got at Stitch and Frame Shop before they closed, before they even announced that they were closed. So I got this. This is Lakeside Linens. It is called Wood Smoke. It's 36 count. Isn't that pretty? Very pretty. So I got all my stuff started, and this is what I got done. Let's see if I can use my little thing to show you what I got done. See, look how pretty that is. Too bad it's like 2 inches too far over to the right. I got home and I was like, something doesn't seem right. Before I go too far, I should remeasure that. You know, because I'm sitting with new friends. We're giggling, we're laughing. I'm sitting across from Nicole. Oh my goodness. So I might have been a little distracted. I mean, that's not a lot. I was there for 2 hours. I probably restitched several of that. But see, look, could you see that? Could you see that in the picture? Let me go back to it. Could you see that there's little flowers on each one of those guys around the border? Right there where my finger is? No, you could not. So I'm gonna rip this out. Rip these stitches out and get started again. I am tempted to go just flip the fabric around and redo it that way. I might do that. But I did learn recently that this orange stripe, which, Ron, do you remember when I mentioned this before? When you have that orange stripe, that means it's Swagart based. Swagart is a linen company out of Germany that produces a great volume of linens and stitching materials. That when you have the selvage, it should be on the left. And I don't know, maybe I could just flip it upside down and backwards. I haven't decided yet. But look, it's a bed sheet. It's like a half yard. Very exciting. Watch when you fold it back up. So, that was my exciting Sunday. I have yet another sewing group that I am a part of, because one cannot have too many sewing groups. All right, so that makes it me a member of Wednesday Stitchers, this other stitching group, which has a name, but I'm new. I'm not authorized to talk more about it. And then the Charlotte Quilters Guild and the Charlotte Modern Quilters Guild. Those two guilds I either forget to go to, or it's on a day where we spend time with my mother-in-law, so I haven't been able to really be participatory of those. But I'm still happy to be members. So, this little guy, my little thread keep, has inspired me. I really like him, and I thought, stitchy friends, I could make some. And so I started a little guy. Look, that's what I was going to say. And that's where I was at before I realized I had not finished a story. I was about to not finish another story. So my cutting tabletop had this material on it. Lori Holt's deco fabric. And so it's thinner than a normal canvas. It's thinner than this canvas for sure. But still feels nice. So I had that wrapped around the original cutting table. And it was really cute. Again, it was just the wrong size of table. So I had leaned the tabletop up and it hadn't unwrapped it yet because it's staples in it and I just didn't want to. So today I was able to unstaple it and cut some little fabric strips out of it. Not a lot, just to test. And then I cut some batting and I whipped this puppy up. Isn't it cute? Would be nice in a little envelope. So if you are my stitchy friend and I know your address, you might get one. You never know. The other exciting thing that came in the mail, I talked about it last week that I had ordered those silicone things and they came really fast. Hello, welcome back. Sorry. It was a longer minute for me than it was for you. But I was talking about the Spool Pods. So I ordered these seriously like 10 days ago. And they came from England and I got them super fast. So this is what they're designed to do, to hold your thin bobbins, spools and bobbins together. This is what they look like. And look, ooh, of course, party foul as I'm demonstrating. But look, you can roll them up if you want to. So no more clink clink for me. I would say these came on Tuesday, maybe Monday, Tuesday kind of time frame. And so they're 10 each, 10 spools each. So I have 3 of them for Mrs. Campbell. And I love them. They just sit on the arm of the chair, so much easier, easy to grab. Clink clink is no longer a thing. Whether it was between meeting new stitchy friends or getting those guys, or just talking about how frustrated I was with it, I really made some good progress on Mrs. Campbell. I brought the book in this time so you guys could see her again. Mrs. Campbell. And right now I'm working on this. So I had gotten to about right here last I showed you. So let me show you my progress. Do. That's right, people. I'm almost all the way to where the border starts going down again. Almost finished the alphabet. Persevering, I tell you. So really pleased with that. Mrs. Campbell, I'm back in love. These little guys, I'm in love. They're just so cute. Right? And yeah, so it was a very fun, exciting week. Meeting new friends. Aw, Mia in the background. It's like Buster's here, but not. And it's the most adorable thing when Mike calls for her because he calls her baby girl. Come here, baby girl. Come here, baby girl. He doesn't say that to me. But I'm not as little and cute. I'm not the baby girl. So, I digress. I hope you guys have a great stitching week. I will see you next week. And until then, continue on. Bye.